Good day, good evening, good morning, good night. Welcome to Bipolar Brilliance. My name's Rosie. I am not a doctor. I don't give medical advice, but I'm an individual in recovery with multiple diagnoses, including bipolar disorder. And this is my ish that I'm going to share for today. So it's been a day or two, and I've been wanting to post a brief video every day. So a lot of things, so many things. In fact, I started with a big old video yesterday morning, and I don't know what happened to it. Whatever. And then I got kind of hyper focused on technology in the evening, and I had to unplug. And really there's been a lot of ups and downs. And I just like, let me just say, one of the reasons that I started this whole channel is because what I have found is, no, I don't have it perfect. Yes, I have come a long way. 11 years ago, I was institutionalized. I was disabled officially. I couldn't work. I lost 3 jobs because of my severe mental illness. And since then, I have managed to stabilize, whatever that means. See one of my other videos about that. But complete a couple of degrees, become a mother, land some excellent jobs, and so on and so forth. And yet, still, there's the day-to-day. And so I realized that the people that I learn the most from are those that are willing to show me where they're at right now. Not like, oh, I've got everything figured out and this is how I did it, which is kind of how I used to be back in the day. I would not share with people what I was going through when I was going through it. But being in recovery, I found that, the people that I learn the most from are the ones that are willing to admit when they're struggling, and this is how I'm going to work through it now. So that is kind of how I talked myself out of what the hell am I supposed to post about today, because I've got all these things going through my head and I don't know that I can really make a clear topical statement about one of them. And so what it really comes down to is, in brief, giving yourself grace. And that is, one of those terms that has become a part of my day-to-day vocabulary, and yet not that long ago it was like a new thing for me. And so that's why I share it, because maybe that is that way for you, dear viewer. Giving yourself grace means what? It means a couple things. So this is how, well, what does it mean to you? I would say ask yourself that. What does it mean to give yourself grace? For me, it means a couple of things. It means not only realizing that I don't have to have everything perfect. It means, being kind to myself. It means I could choose to think of myself in a positive light. As a mom, I could choose to ditch the mom guilt and say, you know what, I am a good mom. I could choose to, at the end of the day, say, look, this is a happy mess because it's, colorful alphabet tiles and crayons and art supplies because we were having fun and learning today. It is me allowing myself a moment of frustration, basically giving myself a timeout and doing like the equivalent of Gestalt, beating on the chairs, crying and saying I'm sick and tired of this and that and the other thing, and getting it out, and then taking some deep breaths and returning back to life feeling a lot better. I don't know if any of this is making sense. I've been through a lot of ups and downs, like I said, in the last couple days, and I might go into that more in the next couple videos. But I do want to keep it kind of brief. It's late where I'm at. And side note, I'm aware that my eyes be looking red in all these videos, and I have not had ganja in years, so I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they're dry. Maybe that. I just want to put that out there that I'm sober. I'm a little out there, and that's just how I am. But anyway, actually that really helps with the mood stability. P.S. Pro tip. But anywho, I digress. So I was saying to my partner earlier today, God, what did I say? It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I could say this, but other people can't. I was like, I'm so bipolar. And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, well, do you think that most people go through so many ups and downs in a day? And I said, well, yeah, I get frustrated easily. That's my partner talking. Sometimes I'm super patient, other times it's, and blah, 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 and it's like, that was the part of the grace for me. It's like, it doesn't have to be this big, overanalyzed, neurotic thing. Everybody goes through ups and downs, which is not to minimize, it's just, I don't know, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. You know why some of this came up, actually? The post that I started to make yesterday was in response to Mel Robbins' 52nd birthday. She started off very vulnerable. Oh, I'm feeling really lost and blah, blah, blah. And like, great, good for you for opening up. But then immediately switched it to like the second person. And so this is what you need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like, I really would like to just sit in bed and cry all day, but I know that's not going to help. And I couldn't help but think, well, maybe sometimes, like, that is what you need that one day. Just to, listen to The Cure or, I don't know, whatever you like, Tori Amos or Otis Redding, just feel that melancholy a little and lean into it, and you might learn something from it. Like me giving myself that moment to be pissed and crying and, bitching at the world and letting all these F-bombs fly for nobody but the ethers to hear. Hopefully, maybe the neighbors, I don't know. The window might have been open. Is that then I, once I calmed down and got out of that, and we did go outside and walk and everything, I was able to look back and say, well, this simple thing like just going for a walk with my partner and our kid is like what makes life worth living for me. And so the thing that Mel Robbins said in her video was like, I'm gonna get up and move and change my state. Sometimes that is what we need to do. And yet other times, like, even though I was able to step away after that and say, okay, I know everything is not just horrible, there was some validity to the things I was feeling, and it was pointing to me of what I want to change in my life, the stuff that I legit am sick and tired of, that I do have some control over. And so if I had just like immediately just like pushed that feeling away, like, oh, suck it up, just move on with it, maybe I wouldn't have had that and gotten that information that's important for me to really become fulfilled in life and self-actualize. And so I'm not saying like staying in bed crying for days at a time and weeks and months, like, I feel like that is where we have to learn to know ourselves and honor ourselves. That was, I guess that's probably my takeaway, is to honor ourselves. Knowing ourselves and giving ourselves grace is, to me, what it means to honor ourselves. Where we are, as we are right now, we're good enough. I am good enough. So are you. So that's my message for today, and I appreciate you tuning in. If this resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.